Hi guys, Small Block Hero back for one more tutorial video. I'm going to quickly show you how to import Forza models into AC. Today we're gonna start with just bringing the model and setting it up properly in 3DSmax. We're gonna import the cockpit and the body of the car and set it up to get yourself ready to start modding, texturing, and exporting the car. There's a few basic things that need to be done when you start building the car as soon as you import it into 3DSmax. Okay, we got 3DSmax already loaded. We're going to make our view screen maximized. Here we are. So we're going to start importing the Forza model. Now I start with bringing in the cockpit first. And we're imported. And there's the cockpit. Now, for Forza models, the cockpit gives you a few extra parts of which you don't need when you're putting the car together. Now it has the extra body panels for the cockpit, which I don't use that, because they are on different parts of the body. In the other part of the model, we're not going to need these trim pieces, so we're going to delete those. And these chrome pieces, you can see they're partials just for the cockpit, because you don't see it on the outside, so we're going to delete that. And those are part. You need to use the hood because the hood only comes on the cockpit model of the car. Okay, so here's the cockpit in its basic form. Got rid of the parts we didn't need. Now that that's set up, we're going to import the body also. Here it comes, and there it is. So now the body is all imported along with the cockpit all in one piece. You can see the body brought in the extra parts that I deleted off the cockpit version. You don't have to do this, but it definitely lowers a little bit of your vertex count, which isn't too detrimental, but that's just the way I do it. It's just a good thing to do. All Forza models have extra parts, race bumpers, stuff like that. Guys are going to leave what they want to make the car look like they want. Okay, now if you see the way the car is here on the plane, it's actually facing the wrong direction for Assetto Corsa. It needs to be facing 180 degrees the wrong way. The other way. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab all these parts, or you can hit Control A to grab all. And I'm going to select the rotate, spin the car 180 degrees, and there it is facing the opposite way, the way it's supposed to be. I'm going to go to the hierarchy. I'm going to select the pivot only. We're going to transform this pivot so that the green arrow is facing rearward the way Assetto Corsa wants it. Okay, now that that's done, I want to make sure it's positioned properly on the XYZ plane. So once again, I grab all the parts. I go up to the select and move, and then I right click that, and it brings up this little box here, and it says absolute world, offset world. In the X box, I'm just going to type 0, which is our left and right axis. Now, before we do that, if you look at the car, you can go down here and just click the main body, and you can see it's offset negative 0.06 meters, showing you that it is not centered properly on the plane, and you can actually see it by the line being offset from the center of the car here. Okay, so we know it's definitely off center, which all Forza models basically do that when you import them into Max. So again, we're going to highlight all these parts, the whole car. We're going to right click, select and move, absolute world. In the X section here, we're going to hit 0. Now that just brought the car straight on the 0 axis, left and right. So it is now dead center. Now front to rear is a Y axis, so we're just going to click 0. I'm going to hit the Y box here again, and then put 0 in there, and hit enter. And now, based on the car's center of axis, it is now totally centered, left to right, front to rear, in 3DSmax. Now you can do the height as well, but I already know that Forza cars are already set to 0. So even though we put 0 in there, the car didn't move. So the car is already sitting on its axis or center of axis up and down. Now that it's like that, you can double check your work by clicking the body, and it shows down here 0, 0, 0, knowing that your main body of the car, the main axis, is now totally centered to 3DSmax, and it will be centered perfectly in game. There'll be no left and right offset of the body, so you won't have to mess around with that. Then when you start setting up your wheels, you'll know that your left side will be parallel to the right side. So if your front tire is 0.700 on the left, it will be 0.700 on the right. And everything will be uniform, and you can set up all your parts very easily knowing your numbers going from left to right. And that's it. Thanks, guys. Hope this helps. Take care.